I've been a solo full-time game developer for about a full year at this point, and one of the things I need to do as a solo developer and basically a business is account for my budget. How much money am I taking in as a business and how much money am I spending? And because of that, it's made me reflect upon the various costs I have as a game developer and which ones are the most expensive ones, because in the long run of my business, I need to become more efficient so I can make sure I can keep getting food on the table for Carl here. And hey, buddy, the most expensive cost for me is gaining experience. And that's not because I'm hiring people to teach me and spending a bunch of money, but it's just simply if I'm doing something new, I need to spend time to learn how to do it. And that takes a lot of time. This last week, I spent a bunch of work on Hexagod trying to make it playable on a controller because I want to be able to have a Steam Deck verified checkmark. And there's a list on Steam of all the things you need to do to get it done. But because this is my first time doing it, and I want to learn how to do it for myself, it's taking me a lot of time. But I'm gaining a lot of experience of, maybe I should architect something differently or design something differently, or this system works really well on a mouse and keyboard, but it doesn't work so well on a controller. This system works well on a controller, but it doesn't work well on a mouse and keyboard. So I'm gaining some experience. I'm leveling up, if you will, because in the long run, one of the coolest things I've felt in the last about 5 years of game development, been doing this for 5 years now, is that you get better. You do get better. The first time you implement procedural generation into your code, or into your game, it's going to take some long time to figure out what the code is. The second time, a little bit faster. And by the third time, you probably can just copy and paste your existing code from a previous project and put it in there. So what might have at first taken you a whole weekend now can take you 5 minutes. And that happens for almost every different type of system you're putting into your game, or X, Y, and Z. And that bleeds into the having ideas. How do you scope things correctly? How do you market things? How do you upload a game onto Steam? Hey, Aarimous from the future here. My cat Carl over here told me that I forgot to do something really important, which is to tell you to go wishlist Hexagod over on Steam. Carl says, get this, the more wishlists I have, the higher chance that Hexagod has at success. And there's a demo you can play, which you can then tell me if I find any bugs or if I need to change anything, because the game is going to be coming out in about 2 short months, and your help right now will be very, very much appreciated, because he wants more cat food and catnip, and he likes a lot of catnip. Anyways, I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. The first time I uploaded a game onto Steam, it took me forever because there's all these little things. Like, I had it on Steam, but then I'd try to download it and there'd be no files. But like, you just have to figure out how to work all these systems. Just like if you're learning anything, it takes a lot of time, and that's a big cost. And so one of the big things that I would encourage you to do, and it's something I'm encouraging myself to do, is to make a lot of games. Every game I make, I learn something new. And specifically speaking, each game have some sort of a goal. With Hexagod, my goal was to have a simple and clean user experience and user interface. A very gentle and easy gameplay loop, so I can teach the player how to play the game within the first 5 minutes, because that's a precious 5 minutes. If someone opens up a game and they don't know how to play it, and it's not apparent in the first 5 minutes, they might just close it down, and they might not even get to the part of the game where the fun happens. And so I wanted to take some time with Hexagod and figure out how to make that experience as low friction as possible. By doing that, by having a good UI UX that isn't overwhelming at first, that has some nice tooltips that explain the information, and having a core simplistic gameplay loop that then has depth as they continue to play it and they have these beautiful aha moments, I feel like I've really unlocked a lot of my design potential. My first game, Chess Survivors, was Vampire Survivors plus chess. So my design space wasn't that big, but my goal was to get a game on Steam. So I worked on just how do you make a game and package it up and put it on Steam? How do you then have players play it and gain feedback and make bug fixes? Like, one of the biggest things I learned from that experience was how do you get log errors from players who are having crashes. I had a lot of crashes with Chess Survivors. And so that kind of taught me some fundamental parts of making a game, where Hexagod has taught me a lot about design and aesthetic and I've been able to kind of continue to hone the game development skills. What's the next game gonna be and learn for me? I don't know, but I sure do know that because I've made a couple games already, it's gonna go a lot faster and a lot smoother. But until that time, there's a lot of things that are really costly in game development, and it's mainly your time or my time figuring out and learning how to do things well and learning how to do things that make sense for my brain. So, scope your projects small. Don't make a game that's going to take you 5 years, and every game you make, it's going to become more fit. I completely lost my train of thought. Just go make games. They're fun. The more you do, the better you get. And that's all I got for you. I don't know. I'll see you around, I suppose. What do you think, Carl? We good? We good. Alrighty. Bye-bye.